my name is Kiana. I'm interviewing Mr. Brooks today, our 4th grade teacher, on trout in the classroom.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
So I hear you're looking for an update on the trout, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, as you can see behind me is our 55-gallon tank. Alright, here's all of our remaining brown trout that are in it. Just to give a little idea of what's gone on since the last time we've interviewed is that we've had a replacement chiller system here. And at the back end of the tank we've also had this replacement filter. Because sometimes over winter break, Christmas break, our old chiller broke and almost our entire allotment of water, 53 gallons, about spilled out on the floor. But we know that trout are tough like 4th graders, so they're surviving. But right now the tank looks pretty good. Looks like we got quite a few fish in there. They're looking pretty healthy, and I'm expecting them to grow pretty big. So that's kind of where we're at on the trout. Right now we are in the fry to fingerling stage. As you can see, since last time we've probably interviewed, is that now they're starting to have real definition like a real fish, which means they have real fins developing. They're starting to have all their par marks. You can see the definition of the fins, and you can actually start to really look like a real fish. So that's some of the things that we've been working on right now. Well, I could say the trout have been working on. So that's where we're at with our trout.
Okay. Mr. Brooks, this time I've brought along a few questions.
Okay, great.
Okay. So do you visit these trout every day?
Only every day in school, and I try to come in and visit them over, like I say, a long weekend, like a 3-day weekend I was in yesterday, feeding them. Because as they get bigger, they require more food because they're using more energy. And like over Christmas break, I was in like every 3rd day, so that's why I ended up discovering this. So I'm in quite a bit because I don't want to make sure they survive and we have something to release.
Okay. So, do you know the name of their food?
Yes, this is basically, and I can show you here, we're starting off with, well, not starting off, we're at the stage now where our trout food is becoming more bigger and more visible. There's like, it's a pellet. It's actually, these are crushed menhaden, and we get them out of the city. So, and they ship them up here. So the next time we start getting trout food, the granules will be much bigger. So as the fish get bigger, we start to feed them bigger food.
I have another question about the food.
Sure.
What kinds of foods do you feed them?
Right now it's only fish food. No live. They have not had a live type of food.
I mean, well, what kinds of fish food?
We only get one type through our program, the floating classroom, and Finger Lakes trout in the classroom is like it's only ground up menhaden, which is a bait fish out of the Atlantic Ocean. So it starts as a powder, and then it gets to like a little crystally, and then it gets a little bit bigger each time. We increase every 6 weeks, I think it is, or 7 weeks. So they'll actually have much bigger pellets. But in the wild, they'll start eating anything that's available.
Well, how long have you been taking care of them?
Well, I've been assisting the 4th graders this year, you mean, or in general? I think this is my 6th or 7th year doing trout in the classroom. So we've probably released maybe between 300 and 400 brown trout, maybe 300 and 500 brown trout. So we end up releasing between 75 and 100 every year. So I figure some years we're closer to 100, others we're closer to 75. So I would think about 300 to 500, 500 to 600 might be a bit more reasonable.
Okay. I have one last question before we close this interview.
Okay.
How do you know so much about trout?
How do I know so much about fish? I actually am a Pisces, so it means my astrological sign is a fish. I grew up on the shores of Lake Ontario, where I literally spent every weekend fishing, rummaging around the shoreline, walking through creeks, pulling up rocks, fishing night, fishing day, for all types of fish. I would say that my grandfather played a huge role in it. I would spend a lot of weekends when I was young, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, pretty much till almost high school, and he would row me around his little tiny rowboat in Lake Ontario, and I would sit there with my little jigging pole and jig for fish. And then come ice fishing season, I would fish in the wintertime. So I just kind of fell in love with just fish.
Okay.
See? Jaws.
Well, that closes this interview on Trout in the Classroom with Mr. Brooks.